Has it been a month already? Nah, it can't be no month. Maybe like 2 weeks. Maybe like 2, 3 weeks, something like that. But anyway, we here. Regardless, but we did take a little break. But I had to get back, you know what I mean, to the regular schedule. First thing I wanted to do was get that vlog out that just came out 2 days ago. So if you haven't seen it yet, there's a vlog that I just put up. The footage is a little old. It's like from August and September. But I'm just one of those people, man. I can't really move forward until I've squared away what's old. So I made that vlog with some old footage. Finally got it out there. I'm already working on the next one. So that shouldn't take too long. Yeah, man. So I just wanted to pop in here today and say what up, number one. Number two, see if I could get some people on here to see what the consensus was on that last one. You already. Happy was good. Good to see you, love. How's your day going so far? I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good. I my piriformis syndrome that I've been struggling with for the past few months has actually been a lot better the past couple of weeks. It got so bad that I actually went to the doctor. I don't know if I've already talked about this. I felt like I talked about it because I went to the doctor in like early September, and she gave me some prescriptions, and I was hesitant to get the prescriptions filled because I'm very wary of the pharmaceutical industry, like especially one of them is a muscle relaxer, so you know I fear side effects from pharmaceuticals. So it took me like 2.5 weeks to actually go get them filled, and the only reason why I got them filled is because I was it got so bad that I wasn't sleeping at all. Like I was up 24 hours a day damn near. Like if I slept, it was because I was so tired that I have no choice and my body just shut down on me. So yeah, I finally got them filled and they started working like automatically. The first time I took one, I felt like it it not cured me, but it definitely took all the pain away for a good 2 days until it kind of wore off. And then she gave me three different things. And I started taking after like the second day after that first one, I started taking all three of them. And that's been like 2 or 3 weeks now. I feel like I've been taking the meds, and the pain is definitely almost non-existent. Like I have to be sitting down for a long time for me to start feeling it. And um today I'm actually not on any, and I'm good. Like I haven't I also still treat it like a wound. Like I don't try to exacerbate it at all. So, but it feels good. So we on the upper spiral with that. That's how I've been doing. Like that's the only thing that's been ailing me physically. Mentally, to be honest, man, like it is. It's not the best. I wish I was doing a little bit better mentally. Um, like it's been five months now since my last living situation and into this new living situation, and like it's been bad since I left, but since I've been gone for so long, it's a lot worse. Like especially since Aura's in school. Last time I went up there was a couple of weeks ago, and we had a great time. I spent like 5 days up there, and both Lumi and Aura stayed with me over the weekend for a couple of days. But Aura seems to. I feel like I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's probably if I could explain it, it's just because she's more comfortable at being home. She knows she has a room at home. She has all her things, all her toys. Everything is her vibe. She has her animals. So when she's staying with me in some Airbnb, you know, it's not as comfortable for her. And so and also like I just be trying to run them all day. Like we from the time we get up to the time it's time to go to bed, I try to keep them busy because there's so much that I want to catch up on. So um the second to that last night I was there, she had a tantrum, and it wasn't really cool. It wasn't really cool. But that's probably because I had her out too late. It was like 9 o'clock. We were still out and about. and she, she just wasn't comfortable in the situation, so she went to go back home to her mom. So that was kind of heartbreaking, but we worked through it. I ended up taking them, like, we was in a restaurant when she threw her tantrum, and I just got the food to go. We went to the Airbnb, took showers. Well, we had taken a shower right before we went out, but yeah, she got right in the bed and went right to sleep in like 2 minutes. And I say all that to say too, like, since I dropped them off, she uh she used to call me like every day, and we used to talk for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I dropped them off a couple of weeks ago, and I've only talked to her like twice since then. So that's been bothering me mentally, because I'm like, what's going on with that? But and spiritually, I feel like I'm great. I'm always on the upper spiral spiritually. Like, nothing can break my spirit. So hope that's the answer, a good answer to your question. Happy. Like, when people ask me how I'm doing, I go through the whole gamut, like physically, mentally, spiritually. I hope everybody does that. Like, if you really want to know how somebody's doing, and they give you one of them, oh, am I, like, you gotta ask them again. Like, no, for real, how, like, for real, how are you? That's the first subject of this video, is intentionally, like, purposefully asking people how they are, and waiting for a real answer, maybe even soliciting more of a real answer. Let me write that down, because I'll be really trying to when I'm trying to post these lives online afterwards, I'm like, what was this video about? How am I going to title this video? I usually listen to like the first few minutes of it, and then that's what I'll title the video. But that's a good subject for where we at right now. How are you though? Happy? How's your life? How's your mental, physical, spiritual being doing? Serena, what's good? Yeah, it's definitely hard to be away from the babies, man. Like, I can't even verbalize it. Yeah. And I actually started getting like real sad about the dogs. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's because I've been seeing a lot of dogs, and like, I've been talking about dogs to people. And since, your phone is always listening to you, all I see on social media is like cute dog videos. I just finished, before I went live, I watched a minute and a half video of how dogs actually understand language. And like, that shit made me pretty sad, man. I haven't seen my dogs in 5 months, almost six. Right? I left at the end of May. And I don't even know why. I don't even know why. I don't even know why or understand why. It's a cruel and tragic thing to do to somebody. Smart Savvy was good. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon to you. I'm happy you're doing well. Yeah, I don't take it too personally, but it still sucks though. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the desirable outcome of this whole situation. And I also, like, I don't like being confused about things. I'm one of them type of people who, like, I feel like I'm so logical and reasonable that I want to know what's the rhyme and reason behind things, and I honestly don't know why it's like that. If I could guess, just because I'm not there, and she's really starting to feel the effects, like, uh, of me not being there every day, and just having to deal with one parent. And that's another thing. I've been talking to my dad about this a lot. Like, when you're a child, it's important to have both your mom and your dad, because there's a dichotomy that happens in child rearing, where one parent gets to be like a soft landing. They get to be the compassionate one for a day, and the other one gets to be the disciplinarian for that day. And it's cool to switch roles. Like, it doesn't always have to be a dad being a disciplinarian and the mom being the soft landing place. It's good to switch it up on them, so know that both parents are capable of both things. But when she's only dealing with her mom all day, like, I'm sure it's hard for V too, having to be disciplinarian and a soft spot. It's hard on everybody. It's trash. It's a trash fucking situation. But yeah, I don't take it too personally. I know it's this is a natural effect of the cause of her mom and dad breaking up and her dad living 300 miles away. Happy Pickle, what's up? Roses, what's good? Mrs. Koger, hey, how you doing, girl? Yeah, it's one of my favorite shirts too. Thank you for noticing that. Pickles is one of my favorite colors. I love this shirt. Happy says she's taking it day by day, getting ready for a second job. Been fasting every other day. I feel like I could be better, but I'm getting there emotionally. Okay, okay. What do you have something in line already for a second job? I feel like the school year just started. What happened? But I hear you though. Maybe you should look into investing, man. Like I feel like I was just listening to a big talk about this earlier today too. This lady named Love Dorsey, she was talking about how in 2025 passive income is like a non-negotiable. Like it used to be a luxury to have passive income, but now like you have to. There's no if and buts or maybe. You have to have some type of passive income. So I hope you put some energy into looking for that, happy, so you don't have to trade your labor for finances. And as you know, I'm on my trading journey, so I'll be happy to help anybody with anything I can as far as trading comes, because I've learned a shit ton of stuff about trading in the past month, I want to say. Serena asks, would I ever move back to Georgia to be closer to them, or is it just better for you in Florida since that's where your family is? Serena, 100%. I'm trying to get back up there. It is better for me in Florida, 100%. But it's also if I could bring my girls down here more often than not, like if I could have them for, I want to say every weekend. Let me just get them every weekend. Then I would consider staying down here in Florida, but that's not even on the table. So I gotta go back up there. I can't do this once a month, possibly. Like I gotta be there every day. I don't want to be that weekend dad. Yeah, but that's the answer to the question. Yeah, I think so too, Roses. I think both parents are equally important. my my baby moms doesn't think that though. She is not a believer in that. She thinks the mother is the only one that matters. And she's verbalized that to me. Which is one of the reasons why I had to dip. When she said that to me that day, I looked at her like she had three heads. I was like, what are you talking about? What are you listening to? Who's feeding you these things? Yeah. How people can change. Mrs. Colger said, I read that not knowing the science of mating causes broken homes. Looking into that, oh, that's should be taught. I always I always say relationship, math, science, history, maybe even should be taught in maybe not elementary. Like kids don't need to be thinking about relation. Maybe like friendship level relationships they should be learning anywhere from like kindergarten up until like you know, sixth grade. But seventh and eighth grade is when kids start having boyfriends and girlfriends and all of that, and that's when they need to start learning about dynamics, for real, and like being secure within themselves so that they don't depend on another. You know what I mean? Like it should be taught that early. So shout out to you, Mrs. Koga, for looking into that. It's a daily piece of my learning curriculum. um I don't like I'm gonna just go ahead and recommend it. There's this YouTube channel called Whole Math. HOE underscore MATH. Whole Math. There's this YouTube channel. Yo, it's a funny ass handle for a channel, and the content is, it's dry, but it's also very funny because it's basically like stick figure drawings with like color pencils that this dude but he's gone a long way to dive into the science of mating, and I highly suggest it because I'm 40. I feel like I know a lot, but I've learned so much from that channel and that dude. Like it's stuff that I knew already. I just never heard anybody say it out loud. Um, and it's kind of like superficial and like dare I say icky to put people on numbers. Like when we're growing up, we have this saying like, "Yo, shorty's a dime," right? So that means she's a 10, right? That's the lingua franca. That's common language that we all use. Like, yo, if somebody's a, everybody has this a grading or rating level that they use with partners and people when they're meeting them. Like, yo, you could say, yo, this person's a 5, or maybe they're a 8, or maybe they're a 10. So he takes that like literally, and he teaches the science of mating based on what number you think you are. And I've been listening to this dude Kevin Samuels a lot. Rest in peace, rise in power. He talks about that a lot too. Like he's like when he's talking to people, he's like, "What do you think you are?" And people be like, "Oh, I think I'm a 7 or an 8 or whatever." And then he starts asking them like open-ended, deeper questions, and then they realize that they're like a 4 or a 5. And then he has these phrases like high value men and shit, like high value women and all of that. Like I feel like we need to normalize that kind of talk because when we hear it at first, it's kind of offensive because we want to put everybody in a situation where everybody's high value. Like, you know what I mean? You don't want to dilute any human's potency on their journey in life, but at the same time, we all innately, quietly rate people upon first meeting them. Like right now, if you don't even know me, if you just jumped into this live, you've already made a value judgment about who you think I am. So it's I think it's just human nature. So instead of trying to like do it subconsciously, like just bring it to the forefront of our minds and let it be um a large part of our conversation when we talk to each other. Christian Bridges, what are you saying, fam? Oh man. There you go, Mrs. Colger. Get you a digital project. Digital. That's not a digital project. A digital product. That's what my book is. My book is gonna be digital, but I also want it to be a physical object. So that's why I'm taking my time with the publishing part of figuring all of that out because when I roll it out, I want to roll it out official. Like if I just wanted it to be a digital product, which I'm sure could have made it a little bit of money or a lot of bit of money. Um, that's not what I want. What I want is a physical and digital product. So I'm just trying to do that the right way. But yeah, write you a book, Mrs. Colger. You got plenty to talk about. You got 25 with 20 plus years of marriage experience, you know? Write about that. Write about um the beginning when you're a real estate agent, like what to look out for as a beginner sales agent, a real estate agent. You know what I mean? You got ideas, girl. You got this. Happy says, I'm still doing the bus driving during the day, but now I'm looking for evening work. Gotta pay these bills. That's a fact. I already know. But you're blessed. You blessed, Happy. So whatever you want or whatever is meant for you will be there. I'm trying to correct my language because you notice I said whatever you want. Like I think when we say, yo, I want this, that's telling the universe that you don't have it because you want it. So it's hard to to actualize, to realize manifestation magic within ourselves because our language doesn't, it's not cohesive with manifestation. When we feel like we lack things, we say I want them. But the more you want something, the further it moves away from you. Like you have to really be telling yourself I have it or find out a way that it still makes sense, you know? That works out with your body language too. Like if you're feeling sad, If you if you mentally straighten out your posture, if you purposefully smile even when you're sad, it kind of tricks your body into believing that you're happy until you become happier. And it works the same way into language. Like the reasonable objective person be like, oh, you're lying to say that you have $1 million when you don't have $1 million, so therefore we say I want $1 million. But manifestation, in the world of in the realm of manifestations, you have to already have the $1 million, so you say I have it, or $1 million is coming to me. You just got to tweak the language a little bit. But you already know what I mean. Yeah, I'm gonna get there, Serena. You already know. I'm working on it every day. Happy. Also, download the InstaWork app. That's what I have, and I've picked up some gigs from that. Oh, who's this? Oh, thank you, Mrs. Clayton. Appreciate that. Love you, girl. Appreciate that, Mrs. Clayton. For real, for real. But yeah, happy feet. Get InstaWork. It was rough in the beginning. Like my first month having it, I didn't get too many hits off of it. Also, maybe email me or DM me some type of way. Or matter of fact, I know how to reach you on Venmo. I can text you my referral link. So if you download it and right after you work your first gig, your first shift, I should say, we both get $50 if you want to do that. Because a friend put me on. And after you work your first three shifts, you get a bump in $5 per hour. So that's dope. And you get insta pay, which means right after you work the shift, you um, you can get paid right then and there. They take 5% for that, so I'm not doing that right now. I need all that. But yeah, insta work is dope, man. Because now that I've worked two shifts, my pay got bumped a little. Not the five, but it got bumped. I'm noticing that the offers I get are much higher. I get more offers more frequently. And yeah, so InstaWork is a pretty dope app. I can't say anything bad about it besides the fact that they took like a month to get my shit together. When you first download the app, they make you do all these like they ask you, okay, what type of work do you want to do? Then they give you like assessments for each one of those roles to see if you can actually perform in those roles. And it took them like a month to assess me properly. But I think we reaching a point, and there's still more stuff I gotta do too to like make myself more presentable, I guess, to like companies who need Insta workers. But check that out. They have a lot of warehouse, retail customer service stuff. The last gig I did, I just showed up to a Walgreens and I helped a bunch of old, I don't want to say old, but let's just say retiree age women tear down the Hallmark section, the card section of a Walgreens. I was the only guy, so they definitely worked me. But it was fun. I had so much fun building with them ladies, them senior senior citizens, and they love me. You already know. So yeah, and it was a dope gig. It was they paid like $20 an hour. I think I stayed there for like 8 hours. So yeah, Insta work, y'all. Like the Insta work is not sponsoring me for that, but I've had a time, and it's been helping out with the bills. You already. Christian, you gotta meditate, fam. You got a lot of something going on with you. Stop lying to people. Nobody cares about having a dad. It's the resources that y'all create. Fam. That's wild. I think there is some truth to the part about nobody cares about having a dad. Not that it's true for everybody, but it reminds me of something that I heard Chris Rock say where he said dogs, women, and children are the only the only beings who get loved unconditionally, men only get loved for what they can provide. And I couldn't find any falsehoods in that statement. Couldn't find, but I also caveat to that, not everybody feels like that. They're truly compassionate, genuine people who don't subscribe to that idea. Like they're gonna love their man regardless, the men in their life regardless of what they're providing or what they could do. But it definitely makes me think about how humans in general, um, even men, sometimes men love for what they can get, not for who they are or who the other person is. We just love each other for what we can get from each other. Like that's a toxic culture that just humans have. Anyway, that's right, Serena. I think families need that dynamic. I think if it were okay for one parent to parent children, it would only take one parent to create children, but it takes two. So if it's not absolutely necessary, it's deeply important for sure. But what a lot of people will say to that sentiment is if the parents can't get along and they're toxic to each other and they're creating a toxic environment or atmosphere within the household, then it probably is better that they separate. And I kind of agree with that too. You know what I mean? Not to say that that was my issue personally. I don't think that we were doing that in front of our girls, but you know, it definitely became apparent to me that we were going to be better not living together. So that's why we doing what we doing now, trying to be better. Yeah, so for the people asking about what's this live about, you probably new here. So I do this every couple of days. Every even day I go live for about an hour. I'm not really planning on doing an hour today. We approaching a half hour right now. But really it's just connecting. Me connecting with the community, and me just alchemizing thoughts that live in my head and pushing them out my mouth in front of people. That's what these lives are mostly about. Welcome to the channel. I go by Nos, NOS, Nos Nero, Matt, Matthew, Son. The ladies call me Babe. The book, thanks for asking, Powerhouse. The book is called How the Fuck to Be, or How TF to Be. Us Gen X millennials, we like to use our abbreviations like AF and TF. So I figured that would give it like a new type of a vibe if I put the TF on there. Also, it's something that I caught myself saying to myself all the time when I'm trying to figure out my niche for YouTube and just niche in general in life. Like what is my purpose here? And we're always like, yo, I want to be this, I want to be that, but how about we just figure out how to be, period. And I wrote a book about that shit. It's just how to be. If you want to live with integrity, if you want to focus on your inner realm, your inner chatter, if you want to just develop in a healthier way and being mindful of where you want to go, it's 24 chapters of just how to be, like how to be powerful, how to be social, how to be forgiving, how to be medicine, stuff like that, how to be a savage, even like. So it's 24 chapters of that. It's gonna be like I want it to be on what's the Amazon shit, Audible. I want it to be on Audible, so that's another reason why I'm taking my time for it. But I already have the voiceovers recorded, so if anything, it'll definitely be on YouTube. If you're reading the book, the physical copy or the digital copy, it'll be a QR code that you can scan. It will take you to a private video that'll probably be hosted on YouTube. Well, I'll read it to you. And at the end of every chapter, there's three prompts. There's 24 chapters, like I said. So after every 8 chapters, there's a deeper dive for more journaling. So there's going to be space in the physical book to physically write out your thoughts. Or you can have your own notebook if you want to, journal after each chapter. And yeah, that's the book right there. It's gonna be dope. I'm excited, man. Thank you for asking. Who is that? Christian? No. Oh yeah, it was Powerhouse. Thank you for asking, Powerhouse. Salam alaikum. No, I said salam alaikum. That's Arab. How do what's the Yiddish for how are you? I used to know it. Shalom, right? Yeah, there you go. Shalom. Shalom, Billy. Or Hebrew. I said Yiddish. Hebrew and Yiddish are two different things. Forgive me. I'm pretty sure Yiddish is not Hebrew and Hebrew is not Yiddish. What up, Karma? I know you've been around for a minute. Can't forget a name like that. Karma Chronicles. Ebook on Canvas and sold on Stand Store. Okay. That sounds like an idea that you already have, Mrs. Kroger. Mrs. Kroger. Mrs. Koger. That sounds like an idea you already have or you already executed. So do you have a book right now on Stand Store? Stand Store has actually been popping up a lot in my YouTube ads, so I gotta check that out. Oh, Billy, you wildin'. I'm just trying to understand y'all and your money idol. Yes, yes. As Happy Feet suggested, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that like button for me. Bing! Check out the other videos. Thank you again, Mrs. Clayton, for that beautiful, beautiful gift that you just blessed me with. Yes, Israel does own the United States government. I agree, Billy. Olivia, you looking for some? Oh, that's my cousin. What up, Olivia? You said you was looking for a remote job. Go try ratracerebellion.com. If you're not already on that, you're probably already on it. But if you're not, ratracerebellion.com is a good place to get some remote work. And also sign up for user interviews. If you Google user interviews, it'll sign you up. You go, you make an account, and basically you fill out applications for surveys, and a lot of surveys will pay you at least $100 for like taking an hour long, maybe like a half hour to 40-minute long survey, and some of them actually pay a lot more. I know you're not into the pharmaceutical clinical trial thing, but if you was, they pay like $500-600, sometimes more, to participate in those clinical trials. I couldn't do it because, like you already know, I don't mess with the pharmaceutical industry. It's called InstaWork, Roses. Glenn, you already know. It might be in Canada, Camille. I'm not sure. You just gotta check it out. Corrupt, what's good, family? I was on your channel last night, spamming it up. I love your channel, fam. You got a nice vibe going. You got a nice format going. And yeah, your storytelling is on point. You got a crazy voice, man. Yo, everybody, my homie Corrupt, Krup. You got a channel, man. Check it out. Exactly, Roses. There's so much statistics out there that show how important both parents are. So for somebody to have a sentiment otherwise is beyond me, man. But that just goes to show you. Sometimes people, it's just it's a human trait, not the best human trait of all the traits, but we have something called cognitive dissonance or a cognitive bias. And when we develop our ideas of what we want to be or how we want to live in the world or what we want to see in the world, anything that goes against that or flies in the face of that, we just shut it out. We act like it's not real or it's wrong, you know? And we only listen to things that validate our innate biases. So it happens, man. I agree too about that. It's cool. It's kids need to see what it looks like for humans, or that it's even possible to make up after a disagreement or an argument or some type of uh conflict. Conflict resolution. We all need to learn and observe. We need to have models for conflict resolution because there's so much of it. There's an endless amount of conflict in the world. And most of us, a majority of us, are ill prepared for conflict resolution. Everything is a game to us. It's win and lose. We always got to be on the winning side. What? Profit? Tell us how it felt to purchase a house for a firm handshake and a pocket lint. What the fuck is you talking about? Waterloo. Drove by Pine Mountain trails today, but my lady wasn't ready, so we skipped the trail. Pine Mountain. Why does that sound so familiar? Is that in Georgia? Yeah, it is in Georgia. Pine Mountain's in Georgia. Yeah. I've never even been on them trails myself. But I love Pine Mountain. It's beautiful up there. Especially like if you get out there early where like the mist is still a blanket on the mountainscape. It's gorgeous. Most definitely happy. I will you be the first person I let know that the book is ready. Analyst says it seems people are hostile towards people with Semitic features. I'm half Jewish and people act odd around me. Oh, well, where are you from, analyst? That's interesting because I know in New York it can't be that way because everybody almost I want to say like 25 to 50% of people in New York have Semitic features. And I love the fact that you said Semitic instead of just Jewish because a lot of people don't know that all Arabs are Semites. So that it always bothers me when I hear people when people critique Israel as a state, as a government, the first thing they do is they say, "Oh, you're being anti-Semitic," as if those two things are mutually inclusive. It's not, and that's not the case. Like, if that's the case, then so-called Jewish people who are pro-Israel government are also anti-Semitic because they are proponents of a system that's destroying Semites, which are Palestinians and Iranians. You know, yeah. Thank you, Mrs. Clayton. You said that beautifully. Let me read what Mrs. Clayton just wrote. Here, here. Your purpose is to, when she says yours, she's talking about me, y'all, just in case you didn't know. Your purpose is to discuss topics that are not usually common. Facts. And that is medicine creating reflection and downloads in people's lives, but also so much more, including creating community. Mrs. Clayton, you know me, girl. Love that. You hit it right on the head. That's what it is, corrupt. You know, we gotta support each other, man. We gotta support each other. And you've been showing up pretty much, you know, consistently since we first met. So I know I still got a bunch of people that I have in my book that I have yet to go spam. But when I was reading through my book yesterday, I said, let me go. Matter of fact, I was reading a comment that you had made on one of my shorts or something, and it said that you had a channel. So I clicked and I was like, oh, I gotta go check his channel anyway. So definitely went to go do that. But there's still a bunch of people that I have to check out. Um, cool King, Cool King, Corrupt. I checked you. Pinky Hooks, Killer King, Unseen too. I gotta go check Unseen's channel out. I haven't go. See, that's probably the next thing I'm gonna do because Unseen is always in here for the most part. Yeah, I thought that was funny too, Karma. I thought that was funny too. That's why I put it up there. I was like, is this too much? I was like, nah. Everybody who watched these is grown anyway. But yo, I watched it after I published it. And mind you, when I'm editing my videos, I see the video like 300 times. For every one time a person watches that video, I've seen it 200 to 300 times because I edited it. And so I go back and forth, slow, fast, whatever. And after I published it and I start reading comments, I went back and watch. I don't know. It's this weird thing that I do. Like I go watch it vicariously through other people, and I'm watching it. I was like, yo, this shit is pretty good. I actually like that video. Not to say that like I ever put out a video that I don't really like, but I particularly like that last one. There were some things that happened that I didn't even catch. Like when I was talking about something about the trunk. I said something about the trunk. Oh yeah, I was talking about how when you become one with a car, it feels like the trunk of the car is like the your back pretty much. Like if you focus on the trunk of your car, you can feel it in your body when you're driving. That's how I feel at least. And while I was showing that, it was it was a clip of Megazord because I was talking about how I don't know if I watch Power Rangers too much that makes me feel that way because the theme with Power Rangers is, you know, they all have their own vehicles and their vehicle is like a manifestation of who they are and shit like that. So I was like, if you focus on the trunk and in that clip you see the trunk of the Black Rangers Megazord, which is what the hell is that? What's the ancient prehistoric elephants? A mastodon. I want to call it a mastodon. In that clip, you see the trunk of the mastodon. So it was like if you focus on the trunk, and I'm like if you focus on my crotch, I was like, oh, that was funny right there. So like little things like that that I don't even really notice when I'm editing the video. When I go back and watch it vicariously through other people, I catch other things that are funnier than what they were when I was editing it. If that makes any sense. Yeah, corrupt. You got a great voice, fam. It seems like almost like you're putting it on. Like I could change my voice too if I wanted to. Like if I, but that I could tell that that's your natural voice because you never break out of it. But yeah, man, you in the right spot because if it's not YouTube, it's some type of music, it's some type of spoken word. You have a gift with your voice, fam. Use that. Use that. It is an abundant resource that you have. You don't have to pay nobody for it. You don't have to put no labor in for it. So it's very unique, and I pray that you find the space, which you already are doing. So not to say that you need to do anything different, um, but definitely capitalize on that because that's unfortunately, we live in a capitalistic world where you got to capitalize on your gifts. Okay, Mrs. Koger, you do have that book. Okay, what was it? Drop the title in the comments one more time so the people could go check it out, and I can read it out loud. So when I'm watching this video back, it was something homeowners guide 101, home buyers guide 101. I want to say posted in my link tree for 47. Be adding a video to go with it. All my lives on TikTok are monetized. That's what's up. That's what's up, Mrs. Koger. Nah, facts. The stats. Rosa said the stats show otherwise. It's an uphill battle without dads around. But the a statistic that I've heard a lot recently, as far as like, especially with daughters and their dads, that if a dad isn't active in their daughter's life, the daughter will have terrible relationships with men when she's an adult. I mean, that's what I've been told. Don't know the veracity of the information, but I kind of agree because in my own experience, women that didn't have a tight, good, like a really good relationship with their dad, uh, let's just say we're more on the, I want to say, promiscuous side. They didn't value their relationships with men, though, in the way that me personally I would prefer. And yeah, I don't see any lies in that statistic, but y'all can make up your own minds. Mariana, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for sending these super gifts, Mrs. Koger. Appreciate you. I see you. I'm the random Brazilian that lives in. Oh, okay. I forgot what your name was, but I definitely remember that there's a Brazilian who lives in Paris down here, and you speak a bunch of different languages too. Yeah, I remember you, Mariana. I forgot what your last handle was though. I don't think your social media is boring, Mrs. Clayton. I like to walk around houses. I'm actually a house connoisseur. I'm an interior design apartment house connoisseur. So I like watching your stuff, and I think you do a really good job um, of curating it. I think you do a great job at presenting it, and you just got to keep going. Like it takes a while for things to catch on, you know, and it's really a lot of luck too. Another thing that I could suggest to you is like try to add something special that people wouldn't expect that they come to know you for, because like right now you can say that my social media is geared around like real estate and home buying, but what makes it special that people need to go tell other people about it, because it's not the ordinary home buying social media content, you know? Try to figure that out. That's right, Corrupt. You already know. We set the stage, we set the example. I'm coming back to Georgia, Karma, sooner than later. Shanika was good. Shout out to the fam. Huh? Word. So, Shanika, how would you say, I mean, I don't want you to put your business out there and stuff like that, but if is there anything you would share with us about your relationships with women? Do you think that your mom not being in your present affects your relationship with women in your life now as an adult? I know a little bit about you, so I'm gonna let you answer that how you want to answer it. But I totally agree. Two healthy parents are definitely needed. Two healthy and present parents are what's absolutely needed. Autumn was good. Mrs. Roche. That's my friend Autumn, y'all. Say what up. And Salom, appreciate greetings. Really appreciate the space. Love the energy in here. God, I'm stumbling in. So am I, family. Thank you for stumbling, stumbling in. Um, but everything happens for a reason. You know, I always say coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. So, you know, we connected here for a reason. And I hope you gain something. I hope there's something that resonates with you and you kind of deal you build with moving forward in your life. Home Buying 101 is Vicky Koger's book. It's on the Stan store. Stan, tell us where we can get it, Mrs. Koger. Where can we buy Home Buying 101 by Vicky Koger? Olu, matter of fact, Olu's in the building. What up? Olu's in the building. Thank you for reminding me. I've been waiting for this moment. The homie Olu sent me a care package. Well, yeah, it's a care package, and it's a gift and a care package. And I opened it, and as soon as I opened it, and I saw the box with the sticker on it, I said, "Hold up, I gotta unbox this on a live." So I've been holding on to this just to open it up during a live. I haven't even looked at it yet. So this is a member of the community, a brother to the whole family. Um, Olubeyo Ubaldo. He probably gonna beat me up for saying his name wrong or pronouncing his name wrong, but he got the dark skin sumo wrestler. And he sent me this laughing Buddha. I think it's a laughing Buddha. Let's check it out. Let's see what it looked like. Oh snap! We got the party paper on the inside, son. The sticker, okay. Let's get a good look at it. Oh, Luminous Creations. I love the wordplay. Oh, Luminous. Love that. And you know, Lumi's the name of my second daughter, so you already know. My youngest daughter. Let's see what it looked like. Oh, this is fly. Dude. And it's my favorite color blue. Let's go. Let's get it. The laughing Buddha. Bang. Lit. Good looking for this family. Really appreciate it. I will cherish this. I'm gonna try to get one of those. I see that you have one of them stands yourself where you put it like on this little platform and the platform has a light and the light shines into it and it diffracts the light. Very dope. He's gonna sit right here for a little bit. Let me see. How do I twist this around? Boop. He will be there. Making sure that I remind myself that there's a lot to be grateful for. That's what the laughing Buddha, that's what it means to me, is there's a lot to be grateful for. Oh, there's more in here. Oh, I got the heart joint too, the extra. The extra, let's get it. The Buddha reminds me to be grateful, to nourish myself, and to not take shit too seriously. Cause it ain't that serious. You heard? I'm digging in here to see if there's anything extra in this bit. That's what's up. Thank you, Olu. Appreciate you, my bro. I will not forget it. I will cherish it. And as soon as I have something to send you, it will be in the mail. You already know. Shanika, here she go with the answer to the question. A while ago, I asked Shanika if her mom not being present in her life affects her relationship with women as an adult, and this is her answer. She said, "Well, yeah, funny enough, I'm gay and I struggle with the fact that, am I really? Because I'm searching for that nurturing side that I never had." Hmm, deep. That's deep right there because I too um, had a mom who wasn't present, was wasn't present. Not by choice. This is because she passed away, and I often credit that or say that that is the cause of my being polyamorous and why I can't be any other way. So I think we're onto something with that. There's much to be explored with that. But you onto something, Shanika. I don't know that all things come from parents though. I was an army brat and I can meet and speak with anyone. Never had a problem making relationships because I had to. There's more to it than just the parents. That's what's up. Yo, corrupt. Let me ask you though, was both of your parents around though? Cause I know, I mean, most army brats or military kids usually have both of their parents. So I'm just curious. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. When I was talking about the real estate agent, I was talking about Mrs. Koger, but I know you and Mrs. Clayton, Marilyn Clayton, is in Alaska, and when she posts about the Northern Lights. But yeah, I know Mrs. Clayton. You're the music family. Love Song Desmond is your son. I know who I'm talking about. It's a lot of y'all, but I be keeping up. Oh, nah, I see what you're saying, corrupt. Not taking anything away from the fact that we need great parents. They just don't build or destroy anything fully. I agree, 100%. Like even though, um, like my old Aunt Joan had me for a good 7 years of my life, from the age of 17 to 15. Well, no, so I was about to say 17 to 15. From 7 to 15, my old Aunt Joni, she raised me dolo. But but I had a family right across, like directly across the street from us, and this is in Suffolk County, Long Island, in a town called Bayshore, and they had a son named Brian. This is the Fuentes family. That became my extended adopted family. Mr. Fuentes, Brian's dad, was pretty much like my stand-in. You know what I mean? He was, granted, his son was at all of my events, and that's why he was there. But you know what I mean? He was there for a lot of stuff. So that was dope. And also a lot of my best friends, I adopted their mom and dad to be like my mom and dad. So I think that happens a lot. I was fortunate in that situation. Some people don't get it like that, but yeah, I was fortunate in that situation to have a lot of adopted parents. Like the biological parents were not in the scene, but the extended parents I got in return were exponential. So that's why I think I came out. I Oh, word! I didn't know y'all was together for that long, Shanika. That's what's up. 15 years is a long time. That's a long ass time. I don't have a PO box, Mrs. Clayton, but if you hit me up in like a DM or something, I'll send you my address. I'm not scared. I'll tell people, like, if you watch, if I forget which video it is, but I pretty much give people almost every one of my videos since I've been back. shows the front of my house. And I live on a very busy main street. It's damn near a highway. And yeah, so I'm not hard to find. I'm not trying to hide this house from anybody. I don't feel like anybody's gonna pull up on me with some ill intentions. That would be, I mean, it would probably make a bad day for me, but it would definitely be a bad day for them. You heard that? That was a crotch rocket speeding past my house doing like 100 miles per hour. They do that shit all day. That's an interesting thing to say, Corrupt. You said Corrupt said this is weird though. So I put myself 100% on the hook and responsible for my children and their outcomes. But I don't hold my parents responsible for anything really. To me, for me, they did. That's what's up, man. See, that's why we friends. Cause you a cool dude. At the end of the day, every individual, this is my perspective on what I just said, what Corrupt just said, is we're all responsible for everything. And that's why I often refer to people as God. You know, I it depends who I'm talking to, but I'll acknowledge myself as God. But I say all of that to say that every individual human being is responsible for what happens them into their life. Even if you don't want to, it's hard. It's hard to reconcile that. I understand because people have very fucked up circumstances, and especially children. How are children going to be responsible for their circumstance? It's hard to reconcile that. And I don't want to spiritually bypass it by saying, oh, we signed up for this journey before we got here as souls, and these are our vessels, and we chose our parents before we got here. There's a school of thought behind that. At the same time, I don't want to accept that. Like, it's not Aura's responsibility that her mom and dad broke up twice in her lifetime, and her dad lives 300 miles. It's not her fault at all. But yeah, if you do want to look at it in a I guess the highest perspective, and you want to say that spiritually we all chose the people that we were, the families that we were born into, there could be some truth to that. Yeah, Olu. Ha. The laughing Buddha, fam. The laughing Buddha. And I got, don't forget the heart. What I'm gonna do with this, I don't know. Oh, Luminous Creations. Check them out, y'all. Bringing me into the world and keeping me alive until I could do so myself. Outside of that, I never held them to the degree that I hold myself. Nah, that's an admirable trait, Corrupt. That's you taking responsibility. And that's what we all should do. Like I said, it's hard to reconcile that things outside of your control could potentially have been your choice. But we'll get there. And Corrupt. Yo, Corrupt, I wanted to ask you too. I gotta go watch the video some more. I saw one of your videos said that you was abducted, but I gotta check that out. I don't want you to put yourself out there if you're not. I mean, you made a video about it already, but I wanted to ask you about that. Maybe I'll watch the video and then we'll talk about it in the comments. But you said they both had this, your mom and dad only, cause I asked our brother Corrupt if he had both of his parents in his life because he said he has he has good relationships with everybody. Like he's a very sociable person, which I could tell. But he said the answer to that question was nah. They both had the same address, but I only had my mom until she ran off with another man. Then I was the youngest slash minor and only one out of the family left in the state of Alabama. And that's deep right there, boy. But he's saying that to say that even though his mom wasn't present and he didn't have both of his parents, he still is very sociable and has healthy relationships with the other gender. So, and that also lends to the fact that what he was saying is like at the end of the day, you can't blame it on your parents. It's your personal responsibility about what's the thing, cultivating the the quality of relationships you have with other genders. There we go. That's the way I wanted to say it. Karma ask Karma asks, do you think you will be poly forever? Do you ever see yourself with just one person? Yeah, Karma, I'm poly forever. I'm 99.99999% sure about that. Yeah, I don't think it's possible. It could have been possible. Like somebody could have changed my mind in my early 20s, but I think we're so far away from that now. I just know too much. I've grown into who I am already. But what do I want to add to that? What do I want to add if there's anything with that? I feel like there's a lot that I want to add to that. Like that's a you know how I love to talk about polyamory. That's a whole conversation. I kind of want to end this live soon, so I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but on the next one, let's go deeper into that because I think what I'm getting at is just because someone is poly doesn't mean that they're not going to have the same quality of a connection that they would have with any one person as opposed to if they were monogamous. You know what I mean? Like just because you're polyamorous doesn't mean that you can't have a super deep connection with one person. What you're saying is that same connection that you have with that one person, you're allowing yourself to have it with more than one person. And that's the only difference between polyamory and monogamy. And that's why I think most of us are polyamorous, but we're so caught up into normalcy or the way society would have us be because these things are what are known, and polyamory is kind of an unknown. It's kind of something that's on a fringe right now. There's not a lot of models for it, so we don't know really know what it is and how to proceed with it. But that's why I'm here. You know, I just have to I have to increase the quality of my life, and then once that happens, wow, this I'm catching myself being hypocritical about what I was talking about earlier about manifestation and the language that we use. Because we have to get out of this mental paradigm that we have that we always tell ourselves that once we have this thing, we can be this thing. This it's called the have do be complex. We have to we should not have to. We should try to spin that around on its head. It's not about have to do to be. It's about being the thing first. Being the thing first. And then once you are that thing, the being and the having just come by happenstance. They come as an effect to the cause of being. So that's why I just want to reverse that a little bit, put it in reverse. Beep beep beep. um, yeah, but so what I was saying was I have to improve the quality of my life. So the way to correctly say that with manifestation in mind and abundance in mind is I have quality relationships with it and my time to show you what healthy polyamory, ethical polyamory is is coming. If that makes sense. It's coming. It's flowing to me easily. Oh, it's too late, Mrs. Colger. The broken home has already happened. That's the saddest thing about it. Like I really have to accept that. Like I didn't. That's why I went back. That's why I went back twice. That's another thing I feel like people don't understand enough is that I was asked, and ask is a very polite way of acknowledging what happened in that situation. I was asked to come back. I didn't ask to go back. I was asked to come back for certain reasons. And I feel like once people understand that, they'll have a better grasp of what exactly is happening here. Yeah, but I pray she gets it too. I know she will. She did it twice already, and she will get it the third time. It will just take her 8 to 12 months, and then it'll start to dawn on her. But yeah, unfortunately, that home is broken and it will never be repaired. Not to say that we can't build a better one. You know, the situation could be better. Um, but I digress off of that. Community support is everything, and Salom, for real. Like it's, I would say I sat here and talk about how a mother and father are necessary, but even more so, even more than just the mom and dad, all four grandparents, all four, mom and dad from mom's side and mom and dad from dad's side, ideally would be present. And then the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, and all of that, like that is also equally important. And that's why they say it takes a village. Like that is not an understatement. That is not a hopes and a dreams. That is like that's what it needs to be. And I was talking about being a dictator of the earth in my last vlog. By the way, new vlog out. Go check that out. It's up. It's posted. It's published. Just put it out yesterday, right? No, 2 days ago. I published it 2 nights ago. In that video, I was talking about what I would do if I was a dictator of the planet. And sometimes I often entertain the imagination of being a dictator of the planet, but kind of being like a eugenist. Sad to say. I know it's weird. It makes me feel terrible. But not eugenist in the form where like, oh, your skin color is this color, so you can't have no babies. Like, or you're from this economic class, so you can't have no babies. Like a eugenist in the sense that until you mentally grasp what you're getting yourself into, until you can economically grasp what you're getting yourself into, until you have organized and cultivated a community around your bond with your birthing partner, until you've cultivated that community, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. And if I was a dictator of the earth, I would never punish somebody for going against my mandates because I don't believe in punishment. But what I do believe is incentives and deterrence. Incentives and deterrence. So I would deter people from having children if they haven't accomplished those things. You know what I mean? And I feel like the world would be in a much healthier place if I was the dictator of the planet Earth. At least give me dictator of the United States. I will turn this country around in a week. Oh, that's what's up, Mrs. Clayton. You adopted a lot of kids. Yeah, I already know you made a difference. You making a difference, and you just yeah, not to say just. I don't like the word just because it's such a minimizing word, but you know what I mean. Like our relationship is pretty much strictly digital, and you've already helped me in my journey. Just for doing these lives every couple of days for the past few months, you showing up and being here with me in community has helped me. So I'm sure you adopting children in IRL in the real, that has been so helpful and beneficial to those human beings. I would be awesome if I traveled to Florida from Alaska. Yeah, you would. Knowing you, you would do it too, because you're a driver. Y'all be driving just to get out of Alaska. Is such a journey. That's an adventure. Mrs. Clayton said, I found out the gender of my daughter's baby. We're having a boy. Congratulations. So at the gender reveal, we're doing fireworks to celebrate. I had to tell someone else. No one knows. That's all right. Your secret is safe here. Your secret is safe here, Mrs. Clayton. You know, only about 200 views, maybe 500 this video will get from potentially 10,000 strangers. Thank you for the compliment, Nunya, if you're still here. If you think about it, everything we do is because we like, enjoy it. Some part of us, even the bad parts. If not, we would let them go from bad traits might mess with our comforts. That's a fact. That's a fact. I would go deeper on that, but I'm trying to catch up with these comments. But you right with that, corrupt. Olivia says, I have a strained relationship with both of my parents where I felt a hold from them. It was filled by God when I finally found them. I don't see either of them as my parents, just relatives. You my cousin, so I can't even dive in with you. Like that's a conversation I want to have with you in person. Oh, and you know, like man, your dad. I think about your dad a lot because I used to look up to who he's my cousin. He's my cousin, but he was like an uncle to me. And you know, in this last 10, 15 years, you know, his my perspective of him has changed. So I know what you mean about with your dad, but I don't know too much about Jody. All I know about Jody is the time that I got to spend with her. So that's why I said we'll talk about that when we get to build, which will happen soon. But we gotta talk more because you're my little cousin. I gotta give you all my gems. Faith was good. I was wondering what happened to you. I ain't seen you in a minute. Last time I heard from you, Faith, you said you Googled something about Jesus, and you wanted me to. You wanted me to Google the thing about Jesus, and I was like, what did you Google? What were we talking about? And I haven't seen you since then. So I don't know. Maybe say that for the next one because I want to get off this live. I'm trying to catch up with these comments. That's right, Corrupt. That's my cousin Olivia too. So definitely good looking for dropping that gem. But I'm sure she already knows. If she doesn't know yet, she will at some point. That's why I gotta talk to her in private because I already know what she means. Oh, Shanika, you and your partner of 15 years have, which is a past participle word. I mean, possibly meaning that you're not anymore, but you have in the past explored being poly, and I guess not anymore. Most likely because y'all hit a wall. Being poly, I was just talking about this. Well, I was talking about it with myself because Cardi B was on the Joe and Jada show, and they were talking about Neo because Neo was the guest that had came on before her, and they were talking about how Neo has four wives. And Cardi B was like, "Oh, that's got to be so hard. Like, I don't believe it." And da 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 da. She was going on about all the reasons why she thought it was hard. And I was like, "Yo, but being monogamous is just as hard. Like, I don't think either one is harder than any other. They both have their cons and their hurdles and reasons why it's hard. But in a lot of ways, I kind of think once you accept that open communication means honesty, it means transparency, it means empathy, you know? It means understanding that just because you just because someone is telling you something doesn't mean that they're not projecting their message the way that they want to, and the way that you're interpreting their message is that's three different things that's happening. The thought behind the words being spoken, and the interpretation of the words are that's three different pivot points of communication. So things get lost. So that's why I mean communication is so important. You have to understand that when somebody's communicating something to you, the last thing you should do is be mad about it. At least they're talking to you. It's silence. Silence we can take issue with, but communication, if somebody's telling you something and they think that that's their truth in that moment and that's who they want to be, is super important. And once you get to understand that and you practice it successfully, I think polyamory is like the easiest way. It's way easier than monogamy. Even monogamous people serve to learn from open, honest, radical communication, transparency, putting things on the fucking table, healthy boundaries, setting healthy boundaries, knowing that one person doesn't belong, they are not your possession. I think that makes relationships so much more easier. But it's interesting, like you said. Nah, happy. Happy said, I just haven't met the one to change that view. When you meet that one, you're not going to want to be with someone else or share that person with somebody else. Mm-mm. I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it highly. I doubt it almost absolutely. That's why I always say 99.9999999%. Because it maybe, I'm one of these people who believe, I feel like it's beneficial to us as humans. Whenever we have a thought, maybe it's a hard thing to do and it could drive you actually crazy. But every time you have a thought, you should simultaneously be having the thought that, but what if that's not true? My inner scientist. I'm a scientist at heart. So me saying that'll never happen, happy, I'm also saying, but what if that's not true? So I hear you, girl, and I appreciate that. Um, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. And that is true. That is very true that I doubt that that'll ever one person will ever do that for me. And I don't and that's the thing is like I don't want somebody to feel like they own me, and I don't want them to feel like I own them, or that I do, or that it's even possible. Like it's not even possible. There's so many people out here in the world that we all would find attractive because there's just so many people in the world that deserve connection, that want connection, that we have things in common with, that we can connect on a deeper level. And not to say that it's not even fun to just connect with people superficially and you don't really want to get to know them that deeply. You just want to connect with people on a superficial level And that's fun. That's fun enough to make you say, man, I had fun today. Today was a great day, you know? But that's how I feel about it. All right, Corrupt, yo, have a beautiful day. Have a fun time at Oktoberfest. Damn, I'm all the way back in the comments. We talking about do be have right here where I'm reading. Do whatever it is. Just like waiting for the right time. Just do it. No time's perfect. Peace, Corrupt. Vicky Colger asks, how do you raise happy, healthy children in a poly home? All right, this is what I'm gonna do. Because I don't want this to go more than an hour and a half, and I'm so far behind. I'm gonna write down these questions so we can have them in 2 days. We will revisit these questions. All right, questions for the next live. For next live, Mrs. Colger asks, how about raising happy, healthy children in poly home? Children. My shorthand is not serving me today. And all right, relation. There we go. All right, Mrs. Colger, we're gonna touch base on that next live. I see that as going from one relationship to another, poly. When I love a person, I'm not sharing, but I may not be with that person all my life, hence past relationships. But to each their own. I hear that. We could talk about that too. You know, y'all know I love to talk about the poly stuff. Um, and I definitely would want to touch on that too. Nah, just women. Just women, K. I'm not into dudes at all. Not at all. But that being said, I wouldn't just see. I think people get polyamory confused with polygamy. Polygamy is like where one man has multiple wives. Polyamory is like, nah, like if you want to have more partners, I don't care who your partners are. Well, I do care who your partners are. Pause. I take that back. Rewind. Beep, 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 beep. I do care who your partners are, but I don't care that you have them, is what I'm saying. There we go. That's right, cuz we gotta break them chains. You gotta do better. I love how y'all be talking to each other. I don't even be catching up to y'all till way after the fact. Yeah, Karma is our course has run its full its full circumference. There we go. Yo, sideways is funny. But yeah, sideways, to answer your question, if you're still in this chat, this dude sideways says, yo, I thought he was gonna say something actually like real. He said, yo, bro, loving the fresh content. Keep it up. Genuinely inspiring to see the growth. I had a quick question though. If I farted in a jar and mailed it to you, would you open it on stream? And the answer is yes, sideways. If you farted in a jar and mailed it to me, I would absolutely open that joint on screen because I think that would be pretty funny. All right, Faith. Let's catch that next time. I don't know what's going on in Portland. What's going on in Portland? Oh Lord, that's about to open up a can of worms. Olu asks, where am I gigging at now? I'm not actually tomorrow I have a gig at the Jacksonville Jaguars game, which is pretty I think it's the Jacksonville Jaguars game. It's either a music concert or the Jaguars game I'm gonna be working at tomorrow. So Maybe you'll see me on TV if you watch football. Well, Karma, that's what these lives are all about. Is just the people who jump in here and comment, they solicit me on my views because I don't really know how to talk. I don't know how to just be talking about. I mean, I do it with all my other videos. I just come up with concepts and I start talking about my ideas about said concept. But these lives are much more fluent in that way. Um, but yeah, I know what you mean. All right, y'all. So Karma, just so you know, as a loose rule, it's always every even day. I often do not plan which time, but it's always an even day. Thank you, Autumn. Your tan looking good too, girl. Ooh. But yeah, it's always the lives are always on even days, and they're almost always after 12. I don't do them in the morning because I got too much shit to do in the beginning of the day. But anywhere from 12 p.m. Eastern time to about 8 p.m. Eastern time is when I could potentially do it. So if you catch it, you catch it. If not, catch it on a replay. And yeah, I hope to see you. I hope to see you. And you know how to reach me. So oh, and I got you on Facebook. Autumn, the girls don't. They unfortunately cannot come to Florida until Christmas at least. I've been given the pass. I've been given permission to allow them to come to Florida on Christmas because they're going to Mexico for Thanksgiving. And it's funny, but I'll digress off of that because you never know who's watching and going back to report. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this, y'all. Thank you all for all 26 of you. I've had up to 30 people in this live today, I noticed. And I got a good 29 thumbs up. Shout out to Mrs. Clayton, I believe, who sent that 1999. Miss Marilyn Clayton out in I was about to say Arkansas, in Alaska. And I think Mrs. Colger sent the two little gems, the emeralds and all of that. I love you all. And if it was, will it let me click on it? No, it won't let me click on it. Well, let me do this. Oh, you guys get experience points? What the heck? That's the first time I ever noticed this. I guess every time you comment, you get an experience point. But yeah, shout out to all the top fans. Matter of fact, who shout out to Miss Marilyn Clayton, Miss Vicky Koger, Olivia, my cousin, Happy Feet, Shanika, and Solo, Corrupt, Autumn, Olu. Yeah, thank you all, man. Oh, Nine Folk was in here. Okay, Playing Serious was in here. That's what's up. Yeah, thank you all for joining me. I will see you next time. Let me get you out here with a prayer real quick to take for you on your day. To the one of us who is many, may you grant my friends, my family, my associates, the ones who love me, the ones that I love, peace, progress, prosperity, persuasion, panacea, and pleasure in the near future and forever and ever. Aho, Amen, Ashe, and Lachin, Alachaim. I think that's how you say it. Forgive me for my mispronunciations. All right. Till the next time, y'all. Peace.